I almost canceled this today
Why?
because life happened this morning at 5 o'clock this morning.
Tell me more. Super intrigued.
You are not going to believe, but have you ever woken up to skunk smell? Or is this just a country thing?
um, Thankfully, I have never woken up to skunk smell. So what happened? Like skunks got in your bedroom? Like,
Well, might as well. So, I have 6 dogs. Yes, I know. They're not my
mhm.
dogs, they're my children's dogs. And my children, one's out of the house and one's about to launch. So, thank you, children, for the 6 dogs. And anyway, so I'm slumbering this morning, and all of a sudden, I get this big whiff of skunk. One of my dogs got sprayed by a skunk in the face.
Oh, oh.
So I had to get up like
And
immediately,
yes.
no slow rising, drag this dog into the shower because, of course, it's the biggest one I have. And luckily, I have deskunking stuff because this happens often. But I think what I wanted to tell you is going through my mind was there's no way I can do the live today.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's just like a single thing happening to derail your day or at least try to derail your day.
Right.
And to be woken up with those kinds of it's like the little kid that like comes in as like, "Mom, I'm not feeling well." Bleh,
Yeah.
right? Like
Right. Yeah.
yeah.
Which
Oh,
is crazy because by 6 o'clock, all of that was done. I was dressed, and I'm here. But I think it's important for us to talk about life will still happen when we're trying to go after big things or
yeah.
our goals.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a question of if, it's just when and how big.
Right. Right.
And it seems, I mean, to me, either it just feels this way or it's true. Like the minute you declare something big, like I am putting my flag in the sand here, I'm
Mhm.
going after this, that life likes to serve up something.
Yeah. And it'll happen. And maybe it's because we don't notice it as much.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
because I mean, we say because the brain is looking for something to stop us from going towards the thing.
Oh,
So
sure.
as the minute it happens, it's like, uh, oh, see, this is why you can't do this right now. My own personal example,
Mhm.
we're down at Podfest a
Mhm.
couple weeks ago, and Aaron goes, should I tell you what I just found out? And I'm like, well, now you have to tell me, of course.
Okay. So just one second here. For all of you people that say, I need to tell you something really important when I get home today or in an hour from now, y'all stop doing that. Stop doing that. Okay. Anyway, you're at
Yeah,
podcast.
so so we're having the time of our life. We
Right.
are getting all these ideas for our big goals,
Mm-hmm.
right? And we find out that our lease is not going to be renewed on the house we're renting. We had no intention of moving this year.
No.
Now, it's happening at the end of August, it's not renewing. So it's like we have time, and that's immediately what my brain went to in one hand. And in the other hand, it's like, see,
Mm-hmm.
like, you're going to have to scale back on all the things you want to do on the business because you got a bunch of stuff that you just need to get rid of before you move.
Yeah. And it's going to take forever.
Right.
Right.
Well, yeah, I mean, if I do what I've done about it up until this point, which is just think about it, but that's a whole nother
Yeah.
topic. But yeah, I mean, and we see it again and again
Mhm.
in the mastery circle.
Mhm.
Big goal, lots of motivation and energy coming into the first couple weeks, and then big and small ways life happens,
Mhm.
and the default reaction that we want to say is like, "Oop, can't do it.
Can't do it.
Can't do it. Impossible.
Mhm.
Gonna have to wait till, 6 months from now or whatever it is."
2026. I
Yeah,
mean, it's like looking at the calendar and saying, I didn't start January 1, it's over.
right. Yeah. And and being that we're in the middle of February, there are going to be people that are going to be like, "Oh my gosh, we're 6 weeks into the year.
Yeah.
I haven't done what I wanted to do in those 6 weeks. I guess I can't do it this year."
Yeah, because not even 2 months have gone by. It's over, people. It's done. You might as well just write off 2025.
Well, dang, that means then you and I are done for the rest of the year, right?
I
Like we
mean, come on. Come on. It's better just to start. And there's never going to be a perfect time.
no,
There's never going to be a clear schedule. There's
no.
always going to be an obstacle. Always.
Mm.
Otherwise, I don't think you'd be alive, to be honest. I mean,
Yes,
this is life. Life will continue to happen as we're going after our goals. That's the bottom line.
yeah. Big, small, things we can control, kind of things we can't control at all.
Yeah.
And so I mean, one is now is the perfect time to start if you haven't started.
Yeah.
So is tomorrow and the next day. There's nothing magical about January 1st
It's
or
a
July
condition, right?
1
It's a
or
condition. It's a conditional. We've been conditioned. You start. It's like starting on Monday. You can start on Wednesday.
mhm. Mhm. Yeah. I mean, and the other part is have you really not started at all? Like for some people, the answer may be yes. Like
Yeah.
if you sit down and take an honest assessment of it, but I bet for a lot of people, you have done things
Mhm.
that are in service to your goal. You just haven't done all the things.
Right.
The
And that's
perfect plan.
yeah, and that's another reason why we break these things down into smaller chunks.
Yeah.
So we can easily see that, oh yeah, okay, I am working towards this bigger goal just in smaller chunks. I mean, it's like we were talking before how we enter into the holidays. So this is fresh. We've all come out of the holidays and it's like, oh, I can't do anything and the holidays are here. It's like its own. I mean, do you go to parties every night?
Right.
Every night?
Are we living the great Gatsby life?
But our brains are naturally it's like, oh, I can't, it's the holidays.
All or nothing.
Yeah.
All or
Yeah.
nothing. Yeah. So it is stepping out of that all or nothing thinking
Mhm.
and allowing yourself to start with the smallest step
Mhm.
and celebrating that.
Yeah. Celebrating starting now, not
Yeah.
on Monday. Well, and if you wait till Monday, great. But I mean, you can start anytime.
Right.
Anytime.
Right.
We give you our permission. You could start
And for any
anytime.
amount of time, like 5 minutes
Yeah.
is worthwhile because
Yes. I
5
mean,
minutes a day
yeah.
adds up to like a half an hour a week. And a half an hour a week is 2 hours in a month.
Yeah.
So like if you were doing zero before,
Anything is something. Well, and it's like one of the things. So our monthly habit this month is a certain amount of focus time and then taking a break. So I chose, because I've been doing this for a while, I chose a 50-minute focus, a 10-minute break. And during my 10-minute break, I want to do things around the house that I normally do in the evenings. So I have less to do in the evening. And it's almost like I'm going to see if I can get my house cleaned in 10-minute increments. Now, we're not talking white glove clean. We're not talking, I mean, we're talking presentable,
Mhm.
company
Well,
ready.
and also like I like the way this feels when I walk around here because I don't feel like it's a hot mess.
Yeah. And I get to roll into my evening with just needing to cook dinner and not all these things that I wish I would have done before.
Mhm.
So I'm giving it a try. So I'm looking at and my brain immediately says, there's no way 10 minutes is going to make a difference. And it's just not true because it is making a difference. It's making a huge difference.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's a great example of the break that you've created for yourself in between things adding up into something that is important for you to do also.
Hmm.
Yeah. No, there's a million different ways
Hmm.
that small amounts of time can add up to something meaningful. And it is that we want to we want to do the complete overhaul.
Hmm.
We want to come out with the 40-page um, project plan with all these subtasks and oh my gosh. I mean, the reason why I say that is because that's my like I am a planner extraordinaire.
Yeah.
Now, first day the plan doesn't go well, I'm like, well, I
We're
guess
done.
I can't do it.
We're done. We're done.
Yeah.
I
So
know.
so it's letting go, like recognizing, oh, I'm a planner. I like to plan. So giving my brain like, okay, you can plan some, but we're
Hmm.
only planning this much,
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah.
you know, to
Hmm.
give it that little bit of candy that it wants, that makes
Yeah.
it happy, and then it's getting to work on the plan and allowing it to be flexible. I mean, that is flexible and adaptable because life happens.
Yes.
And we're terrible at estimating the amount of time things need. We're terrible about putting in white space in our calendar for, oh, you mean I actually have to like brown the hamburger before we eat it for dinner? Like,
Yeah. The crock pot meal only says I could just throw everything in 5 minutes. Wait, what? I got to cut all this stuff up and brown the meat? There we go. We're not eating dinner tonight.
right, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, we could probably come up with a million
Oh, yeah.
different personal examples we've seen from other people. So the takeaway really is if you have a goal and you're thinking and you're in the camp of I haven't started or what I've done so far is not good enough, today is the day. Set a timer for 5 minutes
Hmm.
and jot down two or three things that you could do over the next week and a half in small increments
Hmm. And do it.
and do it. And get support. Come be in our world. If you
Hmm.
aren't doing the 10-minute break, which she's using to get stuff done.
Well, I'm moving around. It's very, I mean, it's the things that we don't even have to think about when we're
Well,
doing.
it's very different than the work you do like when you're sitting and doing like your work, right? Like
I'm moving.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
no.
moving.
I mean, my favorite 10-minute breaks are things like folding the laundry
Yeah,
and
yeah.
putting the dishes away and, those kinds of little tasks that it's like it really doesn't take a lot of time. but I
Mhm.
definitely don't want to do it when I'm done with work at the end of the day.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, that's because I was very resistant to do the 10-minute breaks because it was like, this is never going to work. But we always try these things out before we roll them out to you guys. And when Jenny was like, this is what I'd like to do, I was like, okay, but I think it's ridiculous. So, but it really works because I have enough energy at the end of the day. So when life happens, I could show up, or whatever, whatever happens.
Well, and the other piece is like you're going to have days where like it just doesn't work out for you to have a break, consistent
That was
breaks.
today. Hmm.
And but the fact that, the 3 days prior you actually took breaks those days,
Hmm.
you're not running your battery down to E every single day.
Hmm.
And so it gives you the extra juice you need to power through a day. And like tomorrow's going to be different.
Hmm. Yeah. There's some days that it's just like clockwork. And then there's days like today where you wake up with a skunky dog, and then, they usually come in threes. So it's been a little bit of a rough day, but I'm here and I'm not giving up on my goals just because life happened.
No,
Yeah.
and neither should you.
Okay.
So, if you haven't already gotten the February habit, the 10-minute reset, we have an amazing workbook. It's up there.
Other way. It's backwards, remember?
I
We're
don't know.
backwards.
Yeah. Which is funny because, yeah, anyways,
I don't know. It's
it's up
backwards.
there.
It's up there. It's
It's up
above.
in the
It's
orange bar.
above Jenny. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh, we have to have a little bit of fun for sure.
We have to.
So
Yes.
get
Yeah.
it, and start today, tomorrow. Just start.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. We'll see everybody next week.
Next week.